Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Sleeping Gods. This is a continuation of Season 1 of my Sleeping Gods campaign playthrough, and this is Episode 7, where I will be exploring 2 different Atlas pages from the Tides of Ruin expansion. Let's get rolling! Alright, so I'm all set up to play my next game in my Sleeping Gods series here. So this is episode 7 in my first season. If you're just joining me now, I would recommend you start at the first video in this series and then just continue through the playlist, because we're kind of getting towards the end here. But a couple of quick notes before I start. First, I don't really remember where I'm at. It's been several weeks since the last time I played. I've been on a small hiatus while I had some editing software issues. So I think I've got that worked out at this point, but I can't record while I'm not able to edit, because these videos, especially with the 2-camera setup now and the main camera being 4K, the terabytes add up quickly. So I keep recording, and if I don't edit, then I just run out of space. So we're getting things back on track. But that's all to say, I'm a little bit foggy on what it was I was doing last time. I know the last thing we did was this quest here with Sancha the Ghost. We found her father. We completed that. We got this totem here, this cool lantern. And I think what we're going to do this time is we're going to try and explore some of the underworld elsewhere here, and then I think we're going to scoot out of here using the Gatestone. Where is it here? We'll use the Gatestone to get out of here and explore some other map for the last video in the series, for the next one. Unless something catastrophic happens this time, then this will be the end of the series. But during the editing of the last video, I did see one mistake that I want to address. There was another smaller mistake pointed out to me that I don't have the capacity to go back and work it out. But I went to the port in the last video, and I went to the inn twice. And when you go to the port, there are 4 things you can do. You can go to the inn, you can go to the shipyard, you can go to the healer, and you can spend XP. The latter 3, the shipyard, the healer, and spending XP, you can do that as many times as you want. But the inn, you're only allowed to do that once per port action. I did it twice. So I kept track as I edited that video. Well, what are the repercussions of that? Going to the inn costs 4 coins. So what I said on the screen during editing was, all right, the 8 coins that I spent, instead of saying I went to the inn, say that I went to the healer 8 times, and kind of worked out math-wise, because Kanan wasn't injured, everybody else was. So if you go to the healer 8 times instead, and then say I went to the inn 1 time on top of that, and then I tracked from there, so that would have cost me an extra 4 coins. So that's why I've got 4 coins here. I've taken 4 coins out of my supply. I had it at the time, so it's fine. And then if you kind of track what happens from there, the end result is kind of an odd thing, but there should be 2 more damage on Laurent. So by spending these 4 coins, by putting 2 damage on Laurent, I'm kind of making up for the fact that I accidentally went to the inn twice. I shouldn't have been able to do that. We'll say instead I went to the healer 8 times and the inn once. So the only other thing to get out of the way before we get started with the first of 6 turns in this episode is don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this. I'd appreciate it if you'd share it with somebody else, maybe hype it if you're watching this when it's new, and consider heading over to my Ko-fi page, ko-fi. There's a link in the description, and you can get your name on the screen like all of these fine folks who have donated to Table from One previously. So thank you to all of you. Reserved seating is for all of my monthly contributors, and the Head of the Table award is for the top 10 contributors over the last 90 days. So check out my Ko-fi page, please. I'd really appreciate it. It helps to keep the channel running. But let's not interrupt anymore. Let's begin the first turn right now. So I've got, let's see, how much command is out here? 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5 command has been spent. It might be a good time to go to the bridge. I don't have any command in my inventory right now. I do have 4 artifacts, which is out of control. That's pretty neat. Well, I think what I want to do is I'm going to try and sail this way towards the Isle of Souls probably one more time. I can go here. There's 2 places to explore. Somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here. I don't think I've been to R99 here, but I think I've done the rest. So that's sort of my plan. I'll make my way that way and then get out of here. And so yeah, I guess if I'm not going to the bridge, my other option is to just go to sickbay and I can heal 1 health on Laurent and 1 on Audrey. Oh, and poor Raphael down here's got 5 hits. So if I go to sickbay, I won't be able to remove the command from the Elzerian cookbook, so I won't be using that. It'll cost me more resources to make recipes. If instead I go to the bridge, and I assume I get 1 explorer action, I can cook with the outdoor cooking gear and the cookbook, and that could allow me to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra health. 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's better than going to sickbay. So we're going to the bridge. I'm going to start there and remove all spent command. Oh, there's one here too on the on Thrax's charm. I must have used a big block. Okay, so I've removed all the command. Then I gain 2 plus 1 for Laurent's ability, so 3 command. The rest goes away. And now I gain an ability card. So let's draw this and see what we get. Ooh, a number 6. I would have liked that to stay in the deck. I did just shuffle the whole ability card fate deck. We had just finished at the end of the last video, so who knows what's in here. When this crew member gains fatigue, then you can remove a low morale. I don't think I've got a lot of interest in that. And I've already got a cunning card. I'm just going to spit this right back into the discard pile. Okay, that was our ship action. Now we draw an event. We have our perilous events this time, so let's grab this card and see what we get. We have boiler room fire. That sounds bad. A dangerous blaze fills the boiler room. Put out the fire. Strength test of 6. If we fail, we lose 2 health and get 1 ship damage. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw for fate, and then depending on what it is, maybe I will use the nightmare gloves over here. I can get more strength and a low morale that way. I think I'd rather just draw and see rather than for a certainty put a command on or a fatigue on Marco to get his 3 strength. I don't think I really need to do that right now. So let's just draw and see what we get. And okay, we get a 1. So yeah, I would have been annoyed if I had put a fatigue on Marco, because then that would only get us to 4 and we need to get to 6. So that's fine. You know what? 2 health and 1 ship damage is not the end of the world. So let's put the -2 health, just for the comedy factor, we'll put it on Marco. Everybody's like, come on, Marco, why didn't you put out that boiler room fire? So he gets the 2 damage. We need to do 1 ship damage. Let's see where this goes. This goes to location 1. Man, another 1. I would have liked to have equipped that. And ironically, that card would repair 1 ship damage. Now we drew a 1, so that means we put the damage on the hull, but the hull is already full of damage. It can't hold anymore. So that means we can choose where the damage goes. And so I will put it on the deck. Not real worried about losing the deck. So this is the end of the event. We failed our strength test. We took 2 health damage, 1 ship damage, and we can discard the event now. Boiler room fire is out. And now we can take 2 actions. And I'm going to start with a travel action because we've explored all the locations in this little space here. I would like to go to these spaces. That could be cool. And that is only 1 distance away. So I'm not going to fatigue anyone. I'm just going to draw a card. We draw a 6. I would have liked that more a minute ago. But that means we can go up to 2 spaces away. I think I'll just stick to the 1 though. We're going to go here, and that gives us a few places to explore. We'll scoot the boat down here. And do we want to go to R96 or R42? I kind of like the look of 42. I like this seems like a more central piece. Maybe there's more going on there. So second action is going to be explore. And a couple things before I take out the book. 1, I'm going to do a recipe. We'll use the Elzerian cookbook to cook grilled fish. I've got 2 meat, 2 vegetables. I think I have an easier time getting meat. So we'll spend 1 meat because the cookbook means we need 1 less recipe. I can remove up to 3 fatigue. Didn't fatigue anyone. Maybe I should have used Marco. And low morale. Nobody's got a low morale. And finally, 1, 2, 3 health. +2 for using the outdoor cooking gear while we're exploring. So 5 health +1 from Marco having Baker. So we can restore 6 health. So let's get 1 off of Audrey, because I actually use her like in combat. 5 more. Let's say 2 off Laurent. And then 3 off of Raphael. So he's got 5. We remove 3. He's got 2 left. So now the 3 people who still have damage on them are all down to 2 each. We've removed 6. I think that's pretty good. No one's especially injured right now. And then I was also thinking I've got with this command, I might spend 1 and just equip this, what is this, perception card, and put it back on Kasumi. She had some perception in the second act. And I think I'm just going to do that. It doesn't give her any sort of ability, but it's cheaper than this one. And I think it's just a good idea. I think players who are better than me equip more ability cards. I think they do it more liberally, more often. And you know what else good Sleeping Gods players do? They use Gloria. I never do that. Let's draw 2 ability cards. Maybe we can get a low card into my hand. We've got a 2 and a 5. I guess I can put those on screen. So I probably would like to get that 2 out of the deck. And in fact, that's savvy. It says restore 2 health to this crew member. So I can put that later on Laurent, give him another savvy, and heal his 2 health. So I'm going to take that one into hand. I've got too many cards in hand, so I've got to discard 1 card. And yeah, I'll keep the cunning, discard this perception. And so we're at location R42. We're exploring, and this booklet entry says, a solitary figure sits in a fishing boat near the base of the tower. We can either call out to the figure or leave the figure in peace and return to the ship. Well, I didn't come all this way to take no actions, so I'm going to call out to the figure. There is no challenge test or anything. We're just going to turn to another page. And so this new entry reads, as you call out to the figure, he evaporates in an instant, appearing on board the Manticore. He runs around the deck screaming, and you can't get a good look at his face. Then, like a wave of mist, he flies off the ship and disappears. You search his boat for valuables and find a leather satchel filled with glowing tools. So first we will gain 1 frightened. And that is not surprising. That was a pretty scary thing that just happened, I think. Then we also gain adventure card 134. So let's flip this over. And this is Ghostly Tool Satchel. So that's pretty slick. We can spend 1 command and get 3 craft. I'm happy to have that. So let's add this to our collection of adventure cards here, which I have arranged today in a completely insane order. Sort of made sense to me at the time, but no longer. So who is going to be frightened? Let's say, because when you're frightened, you can't attack. Let's say Marco, because I almost never can imagine him having a reason to attack. Does happen sometimes, but that seems like a good choice. And now we return to the ship. So that was the end of that explore action, and that means it's the end of that turn. So now we're going into turn 2. And my plan is to stay here and explore, and then maybe travel again. And I would like to get some more command. I'd like to equip this bandage, but if I want to take care of the frightened, I'm going to need 2 command with Kanan. So the frightened is less of a priority. I'm going to go back to the quarters. I'll probably keep bouncing back and forth between the bridge and the quarters unless I have a reason to do otherwise. So I remove 2 command tokens. Let's take 1 off the cookbook, and the only other one I spent is here on Gloria. Then we gain 3 command tokens. So here's the third, and I forgot on the last turn when I explored R42, I have, here it is, engaged with Marco. Gain 1 command when you explore. So I should have 1 other command too. So I've actually got 4 command. I should have had 1 going into this. And so that's really good, actually. That allows me to take both those actions. I'm going to start by spending 2 command now to put bandage on Laurent. So I'm going to equip that, immediately restore 2 health to that crew member. There we go. And now I get to draw an ability card, and I have room to keep it if I want it. So this next card is, another 2. Look at that. Surprise attack. So this is cunning. I can put that on Mac. Would be good. So yeah, I'm going to hold on to that, and I'll probably equip it right away, actually. I'm just really not all that worried about frightened. I think I'd rather equip this. Let's spend these 2 command. Put cunning here on Mac. So she's got 1 more of those. That's another 2 that's out of the deck. Let's see if I can set myself up for some success in the next chapter. And so now I've taken all my ship actions. It's time for our second perilous event of the day, and we get Merchant Raid. A pirate caravel descends upon a fat Lucran merchant vessel, and we are trying to help the merchants escape. It's a cunning test of 6. And if we fail, there's 2 ship damage, and then either way we gain a coin. I'd rather not participate. I'm doing okay on coins, but cunning test of 6. At least I just equipped a cunning card, and I've got another 1 in hand. So we can go ahead and fatigue Mac. So that gives us 3 cunning. We need 6. This can get me to 4. If I draw at least a 2, then I'll be okay. I don't have another source of cunning anywhere over here. Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's draw the card. We get a 5. That's plenty. So I'm at 8 total challenge strength. and I needed 6. So we don't take 2 ship damage, but we do gain a coin. So I'm up to 14 coins now. We'll discard this event, and I can take my 2 actions. So let's start with an explore action. We'll explore R96. I don't have any command tokens. Oh, wait, I'm exploring. So I gain a command token from engaged, and then I could use the Elzarian cookbook. But I've only got 4 damage in total. I wouldn't get my full use out of it. So I think I'll actually just hold on to the command. That's fine. So passage 96 reads, as you navigate near the tower, stray masonry and stone tumble from the precipice. The deadly shower rains down around the manticore. So we only have one option here. It is navigate away from the falling stone. It is a savvy test of 9. If we fail, we take 3 ship damage. Boy, they're coming after the ship today. And then regardless of if we pass or not, we turn to a different paragraph. So savvy test of 9. I'm going to fatigue Gregory and Laurent. So that gets me to 6 savvy. So I need to draw a 3 or higher, and I've got 1 command and a couple ways to redraw if I need to. So our fate draw is a 4. Perfect. So that means we pass the test. We don't take ship damage. We successfully navigated away from the falling stone, and we turn to another paragraph, which reads, you don't know what might be shaking the foundations of this ancient structure to cause such a crumbling, but you're relieved to be away from it. Gain 1 XP and return to the ship. Okay, so I'll take the 1 XP. So I've got 5 total unspent XP now, which is fine, but we're late enough in our adventure that I'm not that excited about 1 XP. But that's okay. Let's keep going here. Let's do a travel action now. And we'll do that. I'm going to go this way. I want to go up here, and I'm not going to fatigue anyone, so I'm just going to draw a card. And we get a 6, okay? Wow, look at that card, man. +1 accuracy, no questions asked. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to discard that. I got a 6, so I can go up to 2 spaces. I'm going to go just 1 because I want to explore R67 next time. But that was my 2 actions, so this turn is over. We're flying through this round. And you know what? I don't think I really need to go to the bridge this time because I haven't spent any command, so I wouldn't actually be getting command off of anything. So I can get just as much command by going to sickbay, but also doing some healing. So let's go to sickbay and gain 3 command. So here's my 3 command. But I'm going to spend 2 right away on Kanan. And now I can remove Frightened from Marco. Here's my other command. And now I can heal 1 health, plus with Gregory's patch-up ability, I can heal a 2nd health. So we'll get 1 off Marco and 1 off Raphael. And now I draw an ability card, and we get a 2. Oh, that's great. So it's Rapid Strike. I guess I could have read this when it was on the screen, but even if this crew member misses, they deal damage first. It's probably a better one to put on Raphael, but I've already started building up Marco and Kanan as my strength people. And, you know, with Savvy, I kind of spread out equally between Gregory and Laurent. They've each got 3 Savvy. I'm wondering now, is it better to have Kanan and Marco both be at 3 strength, or is it better... Maybe I should specialize more and I get more, better value out of each fatigue token if I just put this on Marco. And then he can give me 4 strength by himself. But the ability, dealing damage first, even if you miss, that is more likely to be useful on Kanan because he does a lot of attacking. Marco really doesn't. So you know what? I'm going to spend 2 command to equip this right away, and I'm going to put it on Kanan. Okay, I'm just going to keep on spending this command like it's going out of style. So now I need an event card because we finished our ship action. And this one is a floating isle. That sounds cool. A small isle covered in jungle moves with the current. As you sail near, the isle changes directions to follow you. Ongoing. Turn end, draw fate. If 1 or 2, gain 1 food. If 3 or higher, take 1 ship damage. I don't love those odds. You may then perform a Savvy 7 challenge. If you succeed, discard this card. So you have to wait until turn end to perform that challenge. So I guess I'm stuck with that for a minute. I keep forgetting I have this Lost Sailor that lets me redraw fate every time, or once per round, once per turn. Okay, so I've got a few ongoing things here. That's fine. I'll deal with that at the end of the turn. Now I can take some actions, and as my first action, I will explore. And we're going to explore R67. And let me cover up the picture quite so much. Okay, so this paragraph reads, amid fuming geysers that fill the air with sulfurous mist, you find an abandoned mine. Enter the mine. And then we just turn to a different paragraph, or catch some of the large snails near the geysers, gain 2 meat, and return to the ship. No, I want to go in the mine. Let's see what's going on there. So we enter the mine. That's a new paragraph, which reads, you delve deep into the mine, following iron rails through dark stone. In a rough room, a nugget glows the color of a summer sunset. And wow, we've got some options here. Option A is mine the nugget, strength test of 10. If we fail, we lose 9 health and then turn to another paragraph. Otherwise, we can search for other valuable ore. That's a savvy test of 7. If we fail, we lose 4 health and gain a weakened. I think we want to go for the nugget. That's the bigger test. And it's a test I'm pretty confident I can pass. So strength test of 10. I'm going to fatigue Marco and Kanan. And that gets me to 6 strength. If I needed it, I don't have... Oh, wait. I explored. I gain a command. Eventually, I'll remember to do that at the right time. Okay, so I do have 1 command. So I'm at 6 strength, and I could spend a command with the nightmare gloves over there to get another 3, which would mean if I draw anything, I can pass. But ideally, we draw a 4 or higher. Let's see. Oh, when we draw a 4, that's excellent. That means I don't need the nightmare gloves. So we did our strength test of 10. We don't have to lose 9 health, and we can turn to the next section, which reads, it takes hours, but you finally pry loose the glowing coal. I've heard of this stuff. It's called hellfire coal. Burns for months as long as you keep lighting it, and it's extremely hot, says Mac. So we're going to gain 4 coins. Here's 5, and I'll take 1 back. So we're at 18 coins, and we get 2 XP, which brings me up to 7, so I can buy probably a pretty significant level card now. And we get Adventure Card 96. So this is Hellfire Coal. Move the ship 3 distance. Wow, for just 1 command. That's cool. That is better than the Lucran Broiler, which I did not buy. Boiler? I don't recall. I've got the steam engine in any case. But this is better. Just move 3 distance without having to take a travel action. Man, that's cool. That was well worth the trip. Where am I going to put this card, though? Maybe I'll move this block card over here. So I've kind of got my travel cards over here. I've got my Lucran Steam Engine, my Gatestone, and now my Hellfire Coal. So now we return to the ship. Oh, and that's interesting now I'm looking at this. This says move the ship 3 distance. It doesn't say up to 3 distance. So that's kind of an interesting distinction. But you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I think that'd be cool. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 back to this Isle of Souls space without having to take a travel action. And then I think I'll use my other action to go to the market. Or maybe go to the port. Maybe it makes more sense to go to the port. Level up. I know I've got all these coins. I could go to the market, but I could just as easily get all this fatigue off. And then maybe I get the heck off of this map. So, even though there's other places that I haven't explored, I like to leave a couple places unexplored for another playthrough. Let's move the ship 3 distance. So 1, 2, 3. We do have to stop. There's a savvy test here to see if we take any ship damage. I really don't want to take any ship damage, but I've already fatigued both Laurent and Gregory. So let's fatigue just Gregory. I attack with him less, I think. Who do I attack with more? Maybe I do attack with him more. Maybe I'll fatigue Laurent. Okay, so I've got 3 savvy. I need to draw 2 or higher. We draw a 3. Great. So we don't take any ship damage. We can continue our movement now. That was 1, 2, and 3. And now we can still take another action. So yeah, I am going to go to port. I think that's the better action right now. So do I want to go to the inn? It's 4 coins. Yeah, what the heck? Let's go to the inn. Spend 5, get 1 back and change. Now every character can remove 1 fatigue and recover up to 4 or up to 2 health. We've only got 1 health here, 1 health here. And there's 1 fatigue, 1 fatigue. Only 1 of Laurent's fatigue. That's okay. So for 4 coins, we removed 5 fatigue, healed 2 health. I think that's okay at this point in the game. I'm fine with that. And then we can hit the shipyard, and we can repair 1 ship damage for every coin or material spent. You know what? I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 coins and completely fix the ship. Because it has taken... I feel like it's been targeted a lot so far today, and I don't want to lose the ship. And now I can go to the healer, but I don't have any health to heal, and now I can spend XP. And so I've got 7 XP to spend. I think I know what I'm going to do, but these are really the options that I am considering. And so you can have a look at them here. So I can afford any of these. For Kasumi's, it's not really for the ability of the card though. It's really just so she can get another perception, and 7 XP seems kind of expensive for that, even though it's the end of the game. So I think that one's out. Raphael's is good. He can place when he's placed a splash damage, only 1 damage needs to be placed on the targeted enemy, which is pretty great. But by default, he only does 2 damage. So I would probably need to put a different weapon on him to make that useful. Like uh I could take Audrey's Myth and Axe and equip that to Raphael, and then he could do 4 damage. So put 1 on one enemy, and then 3 as splash damage would be pretty good. But um, I don't know if I want to take that off of Audrey. I've got Kanan. He's got double shot. Kanan may place pistol damage diagonally, which is good, but I've had him do that a couple times already just using Captain Odessa's um, synergy token, so I probably don't need that. And then finally, Gregory stabilize. At the end of combat, restore 1 health to any crew members who have 0 health. That could be really good. That could be a quick injection of, up to 8 health without having to do anything. I don't know if I really have a lot of combat on the horizon right now, but you never know. So yeah, I think it's either going to be stabilize or it's going to be group tactics. And if I do group tactics, then I will move the Myth and Axe from Audrey to Raphael. That'll really change the dynamics of things. And my only hesitancy is that I already leveled up Audrey with that distract card there. So when she attacks or when she hits an enemy, she can swap 2 enemy cards before placing the damage. And if I take the Myth and Axe off of her, she's not going to be attacking anymore, and I'll never use that. And so this splash damage ability for Raphael is really cool, but only works if the enemies are in the right place. And Audrey is the one who can get the enemies into the right place. So I guess I am going with Gregory. So that's going to cost 6 XP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 1 left over. So Gregory has 1 perception now. I don't know if that's super helpful, but I will take it. And let's just hope he never really needs that ability. So that is the end of my second action. So now we're at turn end. We have to take care of this floating isle. So again, we need to do a savvy test of 7. Oh, but I guess first we have to draw fate. All right, let's draw fate. And we get a 4. Okay, so that means we have to take 1 ship damage. That's unfortunate. So the ship damage is going to go to what location? Location 2. So where is location 2? That is the deck. So let's place 1 damage on the deck. Fine. And now it says take 1 ship damage. You may then perform a Savvy 7 challenge. If you succeed, discard this card. So we want to do a Savvy 7 challenge. And so that means I'm going to double fatigue Laurent again. Just too bad, but that gets us up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Gregory because I have no other good sources of Savvy. So I'm up to 6. So as long as I draw 1, I'm pretty confident I can draw 1. Hey, a 1. Okay. So I'm at 7, so I may discard this card, and I will. So that's it. 3 turns down, 3 turns to go. I have not used this Lost Sailor's ability, and now that I think about it, it says keep this card next to the shipboard, discard this card when you visit a port. And I just visited a port. So the Lost Sailor is now returned to the port. So I did not make much use of them. That's okay. Time for the next turn to begin, though. And I'm looking around. I think I've only got 3 command out there. I've got 1 on the Hellfire Coal and 2 on Kanan. So I'm going to save the bridge. I don't need the bridge action yet. I will go to the quarters. Usually I use the galley like a fair amount more, but I've got this nesting monster still going on and I just don't feel like dealing with it. But it is nice to spend some of these ability cards from hand to remove a fatigue. I would like to do that. But I'm not doing that. I went to the quarters. So I'm going to clear to command and I'll take them off Kanan. And then I gain 3 command. So here's my third. There's 3 command. And then I draw an ability card. And we get a number 5 with Savvy on it, Triage. Each time a fatigue is removed from this crew member, restore 1 health to another crew member. That's a pretty cool card. I don't think I really need it, though. I'll hold on to it. That would be the first one I would discard, though. And now we need to do an event. And this event is Maddening chant. I do not like the sound of that. The wind carries evil words from distant domains. So overcome the chant's influence. A savvy test of 8. If you fail, gain 2 low morale and discard this card without gaining the reward below, which is 1 XP. Man, 2 big savvy tests back to back. So I could, for savvy of 8, I could fatigue Gregory and get 3, and then I've got this savvy card in my hand I can discard for 4, and then I would need to draw a 4 or higher. This is pretty much a full deck. I mean, there could be anything in here. I think my chances are decent. I think I've drawn more low numbers than high numbers. Hard to say, though. I know a few 6s have gone by, but I don't think I've gotten a lot of 4s yet. Although I do have 2 5s and a 4 in my hand. If I fail, gain 2 low morale, and then don't gain 1 XP. You know what? That's not the end of the world. Because for all I know, I've got another savvy test coming. I'm going to save it. I'm just going to draw fate. We get a 3. So you know what? I'm really glad that I did not fatigue Gregory for that, because I wouldn't have been able to pass the test. So now I need to gain 2 low morale and then discard the card without gaining the XP. So the low morale means that a crew member has to pay 1 command to participate in a challenge. So we'll definitely put 1 on Raphael. He's got the least ability to help me in a challenge. And I'll put the other 1 on Laurent, because he can't take any more fatigue tokens right now. It's a temporary thing, but that makes sense to me. And then at least I've got grilled fish. I can easily remove low morale that way. So that was it for the event. Now we can take actions, and I think it's time for us to bid farewell to the underworld. And like I said, I assume there's an in-game way to end up here. I don't know where it is. I have not found it. I got here using the gatestone. And I imagine there's probably also an in-game way to get out. We didn't happen to find it. So as mysteriously as we arrived, we are going to depart. I will spend 3 command on Gatestone. And let's take a look at where we're going. Seemed like in the comments of my last video and some of my posts, generally people were looking for me to go somewhere else, and that's fine. I don't think I really needed to spend 3 full videos on the underworld anyway. So we're up here. This is where the underworld is, but it's not properly connected to the spaces around it because it's apart. It's somewhere else. I'm going to go to the complete opposite side of the map, though. I'm going to go down here. This whole bottom row is part of Tides of Ruin as well. I've not been to any of these places, but I want to go here, and we can go to any port. I'm going to go to the port of Zokmere. And the reason I want to go there is because Zokmere, in the jungles near Zokmere, is where Sleeping God's Primeval Peril takes place. So I have like some familiarity with that area just thematically. And so I've never been there in the actual Sleeping Gods game, and I would like to just see it and check it out. And so that's where we're going to go. So this is going to be Atlas page 24. And while we're doing that, let me know in the comments what you think. My intention is after this campaign, I will play the Distant Skies campaign as well, in the same style that I've played this one. But should I play Primeval Peril in between? It would just be one video. I've played it on the channel once before, but should I play it again, one full playthrough in one video, between playing Sleeping Gods and Sleeping Gods Distant Skies? Let me know what you think. Should I do that, or should I just go straight into Distant Skies? Story-wise, it doesn't matter. They're all independent. They just take place in the same world. But let me know what you would like to see. But here we are at Zokmere. Here is the port city of Zokmere. And look at all these little islands, all these little archipelagos. This is cool. And I'm interested actually in exploring over here. Torza's Apothecary. That sounds pretty cool. But just within our own little map region, in addition to the port, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 places we can explore. So we can go nuts at Zokmere here. And there's a market. So lots of cool stuff. I think I will start by doing the explore action at Zokmere, though. And because I'm exploring and I have engaged, I gain 1 command. So at least I remembered this time. So there's my command. And let's grab the booklet and turn to R30. So R30 reads, "An ornate wooden city hugs tall hills, green and dripping with fresh rain. Diverse villagers wander the docks with orange and yellow umbrellas, while fishers drink tea beneath makeshift awnings on their square, moss-covered boats. You arrive at the city of Zokmere, and we have 4 options. The last one is just leave, return to the ship. The other options, we have trade at the docks. You may buy exactly 3 vegetables for 1 coin. B is visit the market quarter. If keyword insect, turn somewhere else. I would like to go to the market quarter. And then search for the mansion treasure. It requires keyword mansion. Ooh. Well, let's start by trading at the docks. You may buy exactly 3 vegetables for 1 coin. I think that's a great deal because as long as I keep using the Alzarian cookbook, 3 vegetables equates to, I don't know, 9 fatigue and 3 low morale and a ton of health. So let's use this coin and we gain 3 vegetables. Nice. I will use my cookbook before this explore action is done, if I still have it. I'm just curious if any of the other options, like going to the market, will require a test or something where I might want that command. So I'm holding on to it, but I would like to get rid of some fatigue and some low morale. That'd be good. So now let's visit the market quarter. We don't have keyword insect, so we're going to turn to the appropriate paragraph, which reads, tattered awnings shade a street filled with vendor carts. A pile of iron contraptions threatens to tumble to the ground. Another cart holds stacks of ragged books. Colorful spices sit in clay dishes near the end of the street. Someone grabs your shoulder. A man with white hair and jaded eyes who looks you over doubtfully. You ever seen any giant blood-sucking insects in your travels? I'm the only one around here that knows how to use their wings. Bring me the wings if you can find them. So a merchant tells you that he wants giant insect wings if you find them. And that's it. We just return to like the main Zokmere entry. So we don't grab like a card or anything or a quest card. I have no idea what to do with that information, but that guy wants wings, insect wings, okay? Giant blood-sucking insects, I might add. So I don't know if we want to bump into those or not. So then the third option requires the keyword mansion to search for a treasure. I would like to do that. So we've done everything we can. We're just going to leave, return to the ship. And you know what? I am going to hold on to my command because I think I'm going to explore again as my second action, and that'll get me another command, and then we'll see how that action goes. I can cook at the end. So I can go to R1, R36, or R34. And I want to go to R1 because I think Primeval Peril takes place like down here off the map. I think the jungle area is this way, and I think Zokmere is kind of nearby. Or it might be down here. It might be more up here. I'm not sure exactly which direction, but actually it probably takes place down here. I feel like you go northwest in that game and you kind of end at Zokmere. So I feel like Primeval Peril takes place down here. So let's go to R1. That's like the closest location to kind of what I've played before, just again, thematically, but probably no gameplay impact here, but it feels fun to be exploring a place I've sort of seen with other characters. So my second action, Explore, gains me another command token. And we're going to R1. So this starts with if keyword unpaid turns somewhere else. We don't have keyword unpaid. So this main entry reads, rain pours over the curved roofs and square boats at the edge of Zokmere Harbor. You find an archway built into the wall of a shallow canal. Refugees and beggars camp nearby, their makeshift shelters leaning against the foundation of a busy chowder house. So we've got 2 options. Talk to the refugees. Unavailable if keyword idle. We don't have keyword idle, so that is IDOL. So we can do that if we like. Or B is enter the archway and explore the sewers. I think before we just go wandering into the sewer system, let's talk to some people. So we're going to talk to the refugees. So this tells us you sit down beneath a grass awning, water dripping through the woven patterns above your head. Refugees clad in ragged clothes huddle around a fire pit. The war to the south won't ever stop, says one of them. Some say things are bad here, but it's far worse down in Hekmarak. Don't be so sure, a young man shakes his shaved head. The earthquakes have stopped a lot of the fighting. The first refugee laughs. So instead of war, we have earthquakes. Why don't you go back then? The young man frowns. I would, but I don't have the money for travel. And now we're given 3 options. Give the young man some money to travel, pay 1 coin, and turn to another paragraph. We can enter the archway and explore the sewers. That was what was available to us before. So basically we're just leaving and going back to the sewers. And then third option is just leave, return to the ship. So I kind of want to keep pulling on this story thread. So let's give this guy 1 coin. We've got the money for it. We'll probably lead somewhere. So here's 4 coins. I'll take a 5. Money is dwindling, but we still have a ton, especially when considering I still have those 4 artifacts. So we've given him a dollar so he can travel, and let's see what happens. The young man steps forward and bows low in response to your gift. Friendship given freely is the truest kind, he says. I'd like to thank you with a gift of my own. I once joined a crew in search of the mystic's idol. We expected that such a rare treasure would be treacherous to retrieve, but we were not prepared for the monstrous insects that guarded the way. The entire crew was lost, and I barely survived. The mystic's idol is still unclaimed. I wish you all the blessings of whatever gods watch over you. It will be a difficult journey. Gain quest 186. Okay, so it took a minute, but we got somewhere here. So here's quest 186. This is idle, so that means we can't take this option to come back here again. But it did catch my attention that he mentioned large insects, which that one guy in Zokmere was looking for the wings of. So this says Mystic's Idol. A refugee we met in Zokmere told us about an idol hidden on one of the island hills to the northeast. Oh, is that what he said? I don't remember him saying that, but we are right here at R1, so the hills to the northeast, it's either got to be, it's probably R36, it could be 21, least likely would be 19. 66 seems pretty improbable, that's too far away. Probably here, if I had to guess. But let's continue on. He joined a team that was searching for it, barely escaping with his life. It's near a stone shaped like a bat. Now that's cool. I love stuff like that in this game because that, it's on a hill. It's near, what did I say? It's near a stone shaped like a bat. Like it just invites you to really take in the artwork and try and find that. So that's really cool, and I enjoy doing that. Now, to my eye, I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me right now that looks like a bat. It's possible it's right in front of me and I'm missing it. But by inviting me to like take in the environment a little bit more, I did notice this is really interesting. Look right here. There's just this market all by itself. So often in Sleeping Gods, we find the market paired with a port, but that is not the case here. It's just this market by itself on this island with nothing else going on. That's just kind of interesting. And there's no location to explore there either. So you can't find out like why there's a market there, what the heck's really going on, but that's neat. Anyway, okay, idle is our top priority right now. There's nothing else we're really working on, but we are still exploring. There's more to this story. So we gained our quest, but now we still have two options. We can leave and return to the ship, or we can enter the archway and explore the sewers. So it's really pushing us into these sewers. And so I guess since we're here, we might as well check that out since we've done everything else we can. Let's enter the archway and explore the sewers. So this says, the fetid air smells of sewage and limestone, and mold grows on the sewer walls. When you enter a large chamber, a masked creature appears, snickering beneath strands of dirty hair. And we are going into combat. So we have cards 17, 25, 26, and 87. It's a level 14 combat. I think we'll be okay. We seem to be in decent shape. The captain's got plan ahead, so I gain 2 command at the start of combat. And you are allowed to stop and make a recipe before starting the combat. Do I want to do that? Is there a reason to do that? I don't think so. I don't think I need to do that. I'll hold on to my command rather than spend it on a recipe. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh boy. So we've got Skeletal Haunter, Drying Dead, Masked Ghoul, and Infernal Jackal. Interesting. And this is totally random, but I seem to remember watching a time-lapse video somewhere of this Infernal Jackal image being drawn. And that was kind of cool to see. And so looking at this, there's a lot of end-around abilities I don't like. The Skull's going to give low morale, and it has 1 damage here. 1 damage on the Drying Dead, which has 7 defense. That's pretty high. And regen 1, so I don't want it to regenerate anything. The Masked Ghoul has a 2 damage, a 3 damage, and a madness. I definitely don't want madness. And then it's got 7 defense itself with a base attack of 3, which is pretty high. And then the Infernal Jackal, just look at all this other damage all around it. This is something I should try and one-shot or diagonal shot, because it only has 3 health, so that I don't get counterattacked by it. So let's get my attack cubes now and my synergy markers and figure out what I'm going to do. If I can have the captain do her synergy thing somewhere, then she can pass this to Kanan, who can pretty easily take out this Infernal Jackal. And I think it'd be good to have Mac, with all of her accuracy, go after this Drying Dead. If she can get an extra damage from somebody else, like Kasumi or Audrey, then she can take out the regen, or she can take out, what can she do? Well, she can do 1, 2, 3. Maybe somebody else who can do 4 damage could splash damage from the Masked Ghoul and just take out the Drying Dead that way. Or it'd probably be better to go the other way. Hit the Drying Dead, splash damage onto the Ghoul. And while I'm planning here, let me make sure I grab that 2 command that I mentioned. Okay, so I might like to start with the captain and she can attack the drying dead. She's going to need a lot of accuracy, so I'll need a command token to add accuracy to her, almost certainly. But she could do 1, 2, and then splash 3, 4 to get her command token. She can pass that to Kanan. Then he can easily hit the Infernal Jackal, and he'll be able to place diagonal damage, so he can just take it out in one hit. And then he'll give this, I think, to Audrey. And then I'll have Mac attack the drying dead. She'll easily hit it. She could do 2 damage and take it out. And then she can give her synergy token to Audrey as well, because she'll need the extra accuracy. And she can do 4 damage to this masked ghoul. And she could put that on the madness and these 2 damages and then 1 heart down here. Oh, that heart will be covered by then. Well, that's okay. Even better, I can have the captain go 1, 2, 3, 4. She doesn't have to splash all the way across. Audrey can do that. And then it'll be time for the end of round. And so we'll only have to deal with this skeletal haunter who will do 3 damage and a low morale, and this masked ghoul who will do just 3 damage. Or when Audrey attacks, she does 4. I can have her do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use Tusk of Slovalul to do another 2 damage and take out the masked ghoul all at once, and I won't even have to worry about these other pieces, and then it won't even counterattack. So, okay, let's go with that plan. So I'm going to start with Captain Odessa. She's going to attack the drying dead, so she needs to draw a 6 to hit it. That ain't going to happen, but let's see where she starts. She gets a 2. Oh, that's rough. Okay, so she is at 3 accuracy so far, and I need to get to 7. So you know what? I'm just going to live with it. I'm going to spend 2 command right here. On the Stone of Cats, that gets me 4 more accuracy. So that's 7. That's what she needs. She does 4 damage. So she's going to go, she's going to go 1, 2, and then, 3 and 4. That's the way I need to do it. So we cover the synergy. So she's going to give that to Kanan. And now this thing counterattacks. It does 2 damage plus 1, 3 damage back. She's got 1 block. So she takes 2 damage. Okay. Next up, I'm going to go with Kanan. And so he's got 1, 2, 3 base accuracy. He needs to get up to 5. And we get a 2. Perfect. Oh man, that's a card I would like to equip though. But okay, so he gets a 2. That's 5 total. That's what he needed. So he can do 3 damage with his pistol. And if he spends this synergy token, he can place diagonally 1, 2, 3. Takes out the Infernal Jackal and gets his synergy token, and he's going to give that to Audrey. And now it doesn't counterattack because it's dead. I have miscalculated in some form or fashion. I can have Mac attack this drying dead and take it out, but she's not going to do enough damage to place a synergy token. So she won't be able to give this to anyone. I was really hoping she'd be able to give it to Audrey. So what I could do is a little riskier, but I can swap them. I could do Audrey first. It's going to be hard for her to get up to 7. Accuracy, she's only at 1. She gets 1 redraw, but she's got to draw a 6, or I've got to put a command token on a couple of these cards. I guess I could make that work. It just would have been a lot easier if Matt could have gone first. Ooh, but I've only got 1 command token to spend if I still plan on using this Tusk. And if I do all that, the places I'm going to place the damage, Audrey won't actually give Mac a synergy token, so she still won't be able to place this. Well, I guess it's more important to me to take out the masked ghoul than the drying dead. I don't think I'm going to be getting very many synergy tokens. So I'm going to attack the masked ghoul first. So if things go poorly, I still have 1 more turn to try and take it out before the end of the round. So I'm going to start with Audrey. And she's got 1 accuracy. She needs to get up to 7. She draws a 3. So that's 4 total. 5, 6, 7. She's 3 off. That's not good. I need to draw 4 or higher. So I will use this synergy token. Let's spend it. She can redraw fate. I need a 4 or higher. A 4. Okay. So she's got 1 plus 4 is 5. And I can spend a single command token here on the Amulet of the Fox to get up to 7, leaving me 1 command token left. So she does 4 damage. She'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then while we're here, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's what she'll do. While we're here, we'll use this last command token on the Tusk of Slovalul to do 2 more damage. We'll put it right there, which then takes out the masked ghoul. So the masked ghoul is gone and doesn't get to counterattack. So Audrey didn't get to place a synergy token, but I think that's okay. We're going to go to Mac now. She's got 4 plus 1. She's got 5 accuracy. She needs to get up to 7. And there's a 2. Great. So she's got 7. And that means she can do 2 damage. She's going to place it right there on that 2 health. And that takes out the Drying Dead, who also does not counterattack now. So it's the end of the round. Those were all my attacks. Let's take back these cubes. And the Skeletal Haunter gets to attack back. He's going to do 3 damage and a low morale. And I'm going to put the low morale on Marco. It's pretty much either him or Kanan. And Kanan's got 1 extra icon up there for a savvy. So we'll put it here on Marco. So he's got the low morale. And that was it. So now I get to do another round. I need to do 4 damage to take this thing out. And I'm out of command tokens. And my strong preference would be to use either Captain Odessa or Audrey to just take this out in one shot. But the accuracy is too low. I don't have any command. I don't think that's a wise decision. I'll probably miss, and that would not be a very good position to be in. So you know what? Let's actually use Raphael. His accuracy is pretty decent. He's got 3 accuracy. He needs to get to 5. We only have to draw 2. We draw a 6, so that'll do it. So he gets to do 2 damage, and he places first. So he'll put that 2 damage right here, gain a synergy token. We'll give that to Kasumi. I don't think she'll need it. Now he gets attacked back for 3 damage. He has no block, but he does have a lot of health. So it's 3 damage for Raphael. And now I will have Kasumi attack. She's got 4 accuracy, so it doesn't matter what she draws. Draws a 4. That's 8. She only needed 5. So that's a hit. She does 3 damage. She'll go 1, 2 across the bottom, place the last one on one of the blanks. She doesn't need the synergy token. Takes out the Skeletal Haunter. That was not too difficult of a combat. We're in good shape for it. We've lost a little bit of health. We've gotten some more low morale, but it was definitely easier than some of the combats in the last video. So let's put this stuff away and see what happens. So we've won our combat, and the next paragraph in the book here reads, "The monsters defeated, you examine the rest of the chamber. Something glints deep within a pool near the center. Is it the ghoul's trove? Gain 4 coins, so here's 5. I'll take 1 back. And 2 artifacts. Wow. That is the component limit for artifacts. I've got all 6. That's never happened to me before. So I hope I don't bump it anymore because they'll be wasted. And then I gain 3 XP and then return to the ship. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 4 XP I could spend. And unfortunately, I have no more command. Otherwise, I would use it to use the cookbook because we've got a little bit of damage now. But that is it for that turn because the explore action is now done. And that's it. End of the turn. So we're going back to the ship action. So we've got a quest now. We heard something about the bugs are probably along wherever that idol is. There's a good chance we might find those big bugs with wings that we can bring back to Zokmere. I'm curious about that. So maybe we'll explore here this time and then move up to here to explore 21. But let's start with our ship action, and I will go to the bridge. Now seems like a good time to clear all my command because there's a lot of it out here. None on characters as far as I'm seeing. And then I will gain 3 command, 2 from the bridge action, plus 1 from Laurent's level card. And then I will gain an ability card. So we'll draw the next one of those. And it is a 4. This is a strength 1, adrenaline, plus 1 damage if this crew member has 3 or more damage. That's a good one for Raphael sometimes too. Do I want to keep this? Not really. I'm probably going to swap out triage. I'll discard that 5 to keep this 4. Okay, so that was the ship action. I really wouldn't mind cooking a recipe, but I'd rather do it when I'm exploring. So I'm going to hold off and hope that I don't need to do like a savvy test or a strength test on whatever this event card is. So we draw the next event. It is crates of explosives. Oh boy. Flotsam drifts into the ship's path. A horde of crates lash together. Steer away from the danger. Savvy test of 6. If we fail, take 2 ship damage. Or recover the explosives. Very interesting. Savvy test of 10. If you fail, take 4 ship damage. Place this card next to your adventure cards. You may discard it to deal 2 damage during combat. Well, I don't think I'm going to get to 10 savvy. Not in a way that makes any sense anyway. Too bad I just discarded my savvy card. So what I'm going to do is the top test. I only need 6 savvy just to avoid taking 2 ship damage. I'm going to fatigue Gregory. So that gives me the 3 savvy. I'll put one more, I think. Gosh, I don't like any of my options. I'll put it on Captain Odessa. So we're at 4. So we only need to draw 2 or higher. We draw a 3. So we pass the test, no ship damage. We can get rid of this card. So my fatigue is high. I would like to do something about that. Let's reset this die and start with an explore action. I'm going to explore R36 since we're sitting here. And this reads, if keyword egress, turn to 36.1. I do not have keyword egress. So instead it says, in a small rowboat sits a man. His half-rotten limbs are stripped of their skin, and his muscles dangle like peeling tree bark. His eyes wander in no particular direction as he slowly rows towards Zokmere. When he sees you, he calls out, my village has been overrun. I'm going to Zokmere to ask for help. Gregory frowns. I don't know what you have, friend, but I think it would be unwise to enter a big city. You don't want the disease to spread to others. But I must go. My village is turning into a nest of zombies. Soon everyone will be undead. The village lies to the east, on a large jungle island. We're near a place called Thram Outpost. It's a large island to the east. I bet they're here. I bet R2 is where he's talking about. That's my guess. Well, it could be as far as R87 here, or it could be further east on another atlas page. I don't know. But then it says, we'll see what we can do, you reply. The man bows his head. I suppose you're right. I shouldn't inflict this upon a large city. Just do what you can. Now you'd better leave me before you all catch what I've got. Gained 1 frightened, and then return to the ship. I don't like getting frightened. I'll put that on Marco, I think. Or no, better to put it on Laurent. For now, anyway. And that was my action, huh? Well, before I return to the ship, now's a good time to cook a recipe. Let's use the cookbook. We'll cook grilled fish. I've got plenty of vegetables, so that's what we're going to spend. So I can remove 3 fatigue. That's definitely going to be Gregory and Laurent plus, I guess plus the captain. Spread it out a little that way. 1 low morale can be removed. And let's get that off of Marco, I think. And then I can heal 3, 4, 5, 6 health. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty good. Put this stuff away. And then with the 2 command I've got remaining, I wonder if I'm better off placing 2 on Kanan to remove that frightened, or 1 on Captain Odessa to remove another low morale. And I think it's definitely the latter. Let's do that. And now Laurent can participate in challenges without having to spend extra command. So I'm still going after this idle thing. So I think for my second action, I'm going to travel. Although, man, you know what? Before I go anywhere, we've got all these artifacts. Should I go to the market and spend them? I've got 13 coins plus 6 artifacts. That's another 12. I'm at 25. Forget it. I'm just going to go to the market. That's a lot. I haven't been to the market in ages. I kind of like doing it. It's fun. So let's see. Eel scale armor, pot roast, pan bow. Interesting. Braided whip, revolver. We got some weapons here. Mixed salad and meatballs. So I'll show you these recipes. I don't think I'm going to get any recipes. They were kind of late in the game, and these all look kind of expensive in terms of just the amount of ingredients you need to spend. Now, mixed salad's interesting because with the Alzarian cookbook, I could do it for free. And pot roast is cheap, and for 1 resource less, if I compare it to the grilled fish. Well, if I compare it to the grilled fish, it costs 2 resources more and will get me 2 more fatigue remove and 1 more health. Yeah, that's not worth it for 3 resources or 2 resources, whatever it is. I don't think I'm going to get any recipes. That's fine. Let's look at the other stuff. So this eel scale armor is just a block of 3. I can show you that up close here. So nothing too crazy there. I don't use the block abilities very much. I never seem to have the command for it. Let's look at these weapons, though. This is wild stuff. I think I can actually afford some. So braided whip. I already have that. Oh no, I have a forked whip for Gregory. So holy cow, that braided whip, the accuracy is 5, 2 damage. Revolver, 2 accuracy, 4 damage. Pan bow, 4 accuracy and 3 damage. Revolver and the pan bow are ranged. And I wouldn't mind getting really all of them. But I've got exactly 25 resources to spend, and that's if I want to spend everything. So at best, I will get the braided whip with either the pan bow or the revolver, but maybe just a pan bow or revolver. And I think it's easier for me to add accuracy than to add damage. So I'm gonna get that revolver. I think I'm gonna put it on the raw, because that's crazy. Should I get anything else? I don't know. I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna take just the revolver, but that is wild. 2 accuracy, 4 damage, ranged with 2 block. Whoever I give that to is going to be like my main 4 damage person. So that's big. All right, these will go on the bottom of the market deck, never to be seen again in this playthrough. I need to spend 13 coins for that. I think I'm going to do 4 artifacts to make 8 coins, and then another 5 to get to 13. Let's do it that way. I know you can get a lot better exchange than 2 coins apiece for the artifacts, but I don't know where to do that. I don't remember. Well, I remember sort of some areas, but I've never been here before, so I'm going to get those back into the supply. Who am I going to give this to now? I think Marco for the time being, because one, he doesn't have any cards that depend on using his basic weapon like Mac does, for example, or Kanan. But 2, his synergy token, I assume he'll be getting it more. He'll be distributing it if he can do this much damage. Then that will allow somebody else to do extra damage as long as it's not on hearts, and that is super, super useful. So it's either going to be Marco or Laurent. Laurent's frightened right now, so it wouldn't make any sense to give it to him since we can swap weapons at any time anyway. But it would be great to have Laurent doing 4 damage and give somebody else a damage synergy token. But this Marco's token is really good, and I haven't been able to make use of it, so I'll probably leave it here. So, okay, that's the end of the turn. I'm glad I went to the market, though. That was kind of cool. So we'll reset this now. I've got 1 turn to go. I need to take a boat action, and I think I'm going to go to the quarters. So I want to remove command. I want to get this one off of Captain Odessa so I can use it again. Oh, and for the second one, I'll take it off the cookbook. That works out really well. And then I gain 3 command. So here's a third. So here's my command. Now I've got 4 command. I'm in good shape there. I draw an ability card and I get a 5 with cunning. This is focus. Discard this equipped card to gain 3 accuracy. Wow. Got a lot of high numbered ability cards, 4s and 5s in hand, and that's not really what I want. So I'm going to put this back in the discard. I want low cards so I can equip them. So that's it for the ship action. Now we do an event. This is the last event for this video, the last perilous event of this playthrough. We have Seaweed Clog. A patch of seaweed is caught in the propeller. Oh no. Unclog it. Strength test of 5. If we fail, -1 health, -1 ship damage. So, strength test of 5 shouldn't be too tough. I will fatigue Marco. That gets me to 3. We draw a 4. That's enough. If I had only drawn a 1, I would have just discarded this card in my hand. So that is the end of that event. We don't have to take any penalties. And now we've got a couple of actions we can take. Let me start by putting a couple command on Kanan. I take that back. I was going to remove the frightened from Laurent, but I realized I don't really care. If anything, I'll just wait. I'll explore, cook a recipe. I'll do grilled fish yet again. Remove 3 fatigue. That'll be great. I'll get the 3 that I have. Marco, Laurent, Gregory, and I'll remove the low morale from Raphael, and then I'll get a little bit of health back. I don't care so much about the health. So for the first action, I will travel. I'm only trying to go here, so I'm just going to draw a card without fatiguing anyone. I draw 5. This goes here, so I can go up to 2 spaces. I will go 1. So we're leaving Zokmere, coming over here, and I'm going to explore R21 for my second action. And hopefully that has something for keyword idle. So this reads, you find an abandoned hut near the shore. On the inside wall, written in blood, is the word Marisaro. As you turn to leave, something shuffles in the dirt, slamming the wall of the hut. Oh boy, another combat. Okay. So before we get into the combat, let's pause and cook a recipe. We're going to use the cookbook. I'm exploring. I forgot. I did explore, so I get a command. So we also get that. I'm making the grilled fish, of course. Let's spend a vegetable, since I got a bunch of those. And remove 3 fatigue. And a low morale. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 health I can recover. I've only got 2 to recover. Okay. Although, you know what? Maybe it'd make way more sense to save this until after the combat. What do you think? Before, after? Because it'll be, I'm not going to take any fatigue, and the low morale won't matter in combat. The 2 health is probably not a big deal. I get a lot more health back afterwards. Yeah, you know what? Let's take it back. What I need to do, however, is remember I need to remember to save a command to do the recipe afterwards. So, okay, fine. We're going into combat. I gain 2 command for the captain. Very good. There's the command. Let me get the cards. So we have cards 16, 18, 26, and 93. And it looks like this will probably be a little bit harder combat than the last one. This, boy, I have no context for what's going on here. I don't know why we're being attacked. Kind of a big combat, too. But let's see. Wowee. So, skeletal warrior, zombie villagers, okay. Drying dead, we've got that guy's back again, and infested eye. And so while I think about this combat, I'm going to take a quick break in real time, and then I'll be right back. So stick around. Okay, I'm back. So a few hours have passed. I've been sitting here for a few minutes trying to plan out what I'm going to do for these first 4 attack actions, and I think I've got a plan. So rather than explain it, I'm just going to start. So the first thing I'm going to do is have Audrey attack, and she's going to attack this skeletal warrior. So she has 1 accuracy. The warrior has 5 defense, so she needs to draw a 4 or higher. So let's draw our fate card, and we get a 5. Hey, look at that. That was lucky. I was assuming I was gonna have to spend some command on accuracy, but I didn't have to. So she does 4 damage. She's gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes out the skeletal warrior, and it gives her a synergy token. So we're just gonna flip that over. It does not get to counterattack. She's gonna give her synergy token to Marco. And next up, I'm going to have Marco attack. And he's going to attack these zombie villagers, who honestly, after we bumped into that guy in the boat earlier, I feel kind of bad for them. But we don't have the backstory here, so we're just going to go with it. So with his new revolver, which is, I guess, not relevant for this attack, but there's a flying eye over here. It is a ranged weapon, of course. He's got 2 accuracy. The zombie villagers have a defense of 5, so he needs to draw a 3 or higher. He draws a 1. And so I'm just going to go with it. Rather than redraw fate, I'm just going to spend a command to get the other 2 accuracy I need. So I'll use the Amulet of the Fox. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accuracy. That's enough. And while I'm here, I'm going to spend 2 more synergy tokens to get 3 more damage. 2 by using the Tusk of Slovalul, and 1 from using the Stone of Blood, which will cost me 1 health. So Marco loses 1 health. But he's going to do 1, 2, 3 plus his 4 damage. That's 7 damage. Plus he's got this synergy token to make 8. So he's going to spend the token and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he gets to place his synergy token, and he one-shots these zombie villagers. So they're gone. Let me put this card up on the screen though, just because it is really cool. So I just wanted to show it. Of course, it's a very difficult card. There's a lot of damage there. Obviously, a lot of venom. So I needed to get that out of here. But it's pretty cool. So we're going to give his synergy token, I think, to Captain Odessa. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so now Captain Odessa is going to go, unless, you know what, I have a better idea. I'm actually going to give that synergy token to Kasumi. Well, actually, I don't know. Kasumi, Odessa, what am I going to do? Yeah, you know what, let's leave it on Odessa, but I'm going to have Kasumi attack next, and she is going to attack the Drying Dead. So she has 4 accuracy. She needs to get up to past the 7 defense, so she's got to draw 3 or higher. She draws a 5. That is plenty. So she's going to do 3 damage, and she's going to do 1, 2 here, and 1 here. So she doesn't get a synergy token, and she is going to get attacked back for 1, 2 plus 1 is 3 damage. She has no block. So let's spend a command token. We'll block 2. So she only takes 1 hit. So that was Kasumi. And finally, I will have Odessa attack this infested eye, which is flying, but she has a ranged weapon. So she has an accuracy of 1. She needs to get to she needs to get past a defense of 4. So she needs to draw 3 or higher. And she draws a 5. Excellent. No misses. So she gets to place 4 damage. She's going to do that like so. She's going to hit the back, which allows her to place a synergy token. And then she will go 2, 3, cover up that damage. And the 4th will be a splash damage here over onto the Drying Dead. So that takes out the Drying Dead. They've got no health left. And so that was the 4 damage she placed. Now I'm going to spend her synergy token. She can spend 2 more damage, but cannot cover hearts with it. So 1 will go on this damage, and 1 will go on this venom. And she will give her synergy token to Kanan. Now, the enemy's counterattack, there's only 1 left. It's this infested eye. It's going to do 2 damage somewhere. Oh, wait. First, it should have counterattacked Odessa. It should have done 2 damage. She blocks 1, so she takes 1 hit. Don't want to forget that counterattack. Okay, now it's like the enemy attack phase. They do 2 damage somewhere, and nobody's going to be able to block it. And I'm going to put that 2 damage on Laurent, just so he feels like he's in the fight, because he's frightened. He can't attack, but he can still get hit, I guess. So now he's got some scars. He can feel like he was part of the battle. So now we go into the next round. We're going to take these cubes off. And Kanan's going to attack. He's got a ranged weapon. So he's got 3 accuracy. So as long as he draws a 1 or higher, he's going to hit this eye. He draws a 3. That'll do. And that means he can do 3 damage with his pistol. And using that synergy token, he can place it diagonally. 1, 2, 3. That takes out the eye, and it does not get to counterattack. So I think that went well overall. It was a real win taking out that zombie in 1 hit. And, on top of that, not having to deal with all that venom. So pleased with that overall. So let's go back to the storybook, see what we get for that combat. There's no more story. We just gain, here, I guess I can get these cards out of here. We gain 5 coins and 2 vegetables. So we've got a lot of vegetables, a lot of coins, 1 artifact. So I'm glad we got some of those back into the supply. And 3 XP. So we're up to 7 XP again. Okay. And then we would just return to the ship. But before we return to the ship, I will spend 1 command on this Elzarian cookbook to make grilled fish with just 1 vegetable. So we'll remove 3 fatigue. And this low morale. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 health. So it's going to be everyone but Raphael. And that is not too bad. Yeah, I'm glad I waited to cook the recipe until after the combat. That was the right move. So before we wrap up, looking ahead, the bridge action is open. I've used a lot of command. I will probably go to the bridge at the start of the next turn and clear all of my command. So I think I'm going to take this last 2 command that I have and spend it now. And I'm going to put that on Kanan to remove the Frightened from Laurent. Frightened wasn't really doing anything bad for me. Laurent's not really somebody I use in combat hardly at all, but I would still rather clear it if I can. So that is the end of that action, and that will bring us to the end of this turn. So we've got the Deadly Deck next. That will be the final video in this series. I've got 6 turns left. And I had a good time today. I'm glad I came down to Zokmere. That was cool. I still had fun in the underworld, but I did notice that I did not complete any quests today. I only got 1 new quest, this idol. I didn't complete any of them, and I gained no new totems. So even though I did a couple of combats, I just got sort of basic supplies as rewards and no totems. So I want to try and get some totems in that last video, because that would be helpful for waking the sleeping gods. That is sort of the idea of this whole thing. So I'm going to try, I think, next time and really chase down this idol. And hopefully I can also do that quest line with the wings for the big bugs. And maybe they're the same quest line. I don't know. And also that guy that we met in the rowboat who said that there was like a city somewhere to the east and everybody was turning into zombies there. Maybe I can chase down that quest line. So if I can get a few totems next time, that'd be great. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to R2 and R66. And if I don't find what I'm looking for in either of those places, I might jump back here to R19. In the meantime, if you want to leave a comment, zoom into this whole map and let me know if you see a rock that looks like a bat. because that would be a clue as to where we want to go for this idle card. So that's what I've got this time. I'm really having an awesome time playing Sleeping Gods again, and I hope you are enjoying it with me. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the big conclusion to this Season 1 of my Sleeping Gods campaign playthrough. So thanks for watching Table for One, and I will see you in the next video.